G'day guys, I'm back and it's been a hot minute. Jeepers creepers. Sorry for disappearing on y'all. It's good to be back. Jeepers creepers, I'll tell you what. That flu was something like you wouldn't believe. That was something real special. I was not ready for something with that much of a kick. I'll swipe that there. Alright. Oh, what a pleasure. Okay. Well, I'm still a little bit in recovery. But we're getting there. So, the plan is, and I wanted to start it sooner, but now it feels right. I'm back at the canvas, and the picture is going to be one of my personal favourites, a hero of mine, and he's in beautiful pastel colours. It's Warren Buffett, so I want to make Warren Buffett. That's the plan. Let's do it now. Little sip of this coffee. Hello, Summer. How you doing? Whenever can I? I don't know, love. But good to see you again. Guys, if you don't know, I disappeared with the one of the top 10 worst flus of my life, I reckon. And it really put me on the back burner. Haven't had anything like that before. Anyway, I've survived. I'm out the other side. And now, it's time to start painting again. Which is a fun place to be. The question is what the first colour is going to be. I think we'll start highlighting some areas in blue. G'day, Jay. So, wild card, Jay. I've been gone for a week. I've been out there, trapped in bed, and struggling away with this flu, and I tell you what, I lost. We can make this a guessing game, but I think I'll just tell you. I lost, not a word of a lie, I lost 6.5 kgs in the last week, so almost a kg a day. That was absolutely lethal. Whenever I see you painting live, I never see... Oh, thanks, love. Appreciate that. But now, I'm back standing, so that's great. And I'm back standing. Usually I should stand on a pair of scales and weigh in at... weigh in at 89 kgs. I'm currently weighing in at 82 kgs, so... And that's just this last week. That's because of that flu. So, if I start losing my voice a little bit, bear with me. I'm telling you, that was violent. Just took all the energy out of you. All your energy. I'm still really, really faint, but obviously we're not doing any heavy lifting here, so we're just painting. So, we'll tick along, and if it gets a bit much, I doubt it will, but if it gets a bit much, we can pause for a bit and give me a bit of a break, but we should be okay. It was not COVID. I tested for it. It wasn't COVID. It was just a regular flu, and it put me on my back. Man alive. I tried to fight through it. If you were here for the last few streams, I said to you guys, hey, I'm not feeling great. I think I've got a flu coming on. I'm struggling a wee bit, but we'll be all right. Let's have some fun. And we did have fun. And then I did about 2 streams where I wasn't feeling 100%, and then after that, I think I just disappeared, and I was just out for the count. It was so violent. I'm making it sound like food poisoning. It wasn't violent in that sense. I was just faint. I was just so weak. I was completely, my sails were completely empty. No wind on that boat. And I was waking up with the most raw throat I've ever had. It was just, you couldn't even swallow. You know, you wake up in the morning with a bad flu and you should have swallowed to get rid of it. Couldn't even do that. It was just, holy heck. Breathing. And then, but at the moment now, I'm just down onto the, my body's kicked in. It's largely beaten it, and now we're just in the whole tail end of it. So we've won, team, but it was a fight. There's no doubt. Yeah. Thanks, Trina. I appreciate you. And hello, Michael. Welcome on in. So that's enough of me whinging about my cold, though, guys. Because everyone's got things going on. In this case, I just got hit with a wee bit of sickness. And now I'm as good as I need to be. So that's fantastic news. But yeah, thanks guys. Hello. So it's good to be back on my feet. That's number one. Fantastic. But I've got no more reason to be complaining. It's time to get back into what we love. We've let enough time elapse. Now we're doing the dark colours first on our friend here. This is Jimmy Buffett. And if you're like me, you've spent a lot of hours of your life listening to this fella. Singing Margaritaville, singing Cheeseburgers in Paradise, The Pirate Looks 40, all those songs. I remember them so well. G'day, Jenny. So many people always jump on in and say, this is the first time they've caught it from the start, which is totally fair enough. It just always surprises me how many people have never seen one started. So it might be interesting to know that we go from the wood colour into a picture. Sometimes we gesso to make it white, but like not all that often, to be fair. It's not really a high priority. I prefer to go from the wood, personally. There we go, hello. Around there, down the throat there. One there, one there, one there. Yeah. Swiping a few of those. And we'll get that cherry look into them in no time. Next colour off the ranks is going to be our whites. Whites into blues, creating that baby blue, which takes up most of the picture, the hat in the background. Dun 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 dun. Xander, good to have you here, Xander. Let's have a little look-see here. Is it a test, is it, Xander, to see if you're talking to a real person, or is it just because you like hearing your name? Because I reckon if you Google on YouTube, you'll be able to find a whole pile of videos about the name Xander, which will be pretty exciting. Here we go. Just lit off here. Amy Lou. Well, I think the last week aged me by about a decade. No, so I'm 30 years old. I turned 30 in January, which was very exciting. And now, I'm about, how long? Let me just remember. How long is it? I think I'm about, not many months now, but only a few months off turning 31, which will be exciting. So, let's get this scruffy old pirate sorted. Not me, though I guess I am a scruffy old pirate, but talking about Warren Buffett. So see how all I'm trying to do at the start is capture those big flowing strokes and movements that make the painting. I'm not too worried about the overall scale and complexion of the picture. That'll come. It'll just all come together. All we have to do is instill it with a bit of fun to start with. It's so easy to get so lost in the scale and proportions and style of the image. You can actually forget that there's a bit of fun to be captured here. So that's what we're after first and foremost. There we go. Your birthday's in January too, that's exciting. Hi Marta, good to have you here. January babies. There we go, beautiful. A lot of this background's going to be this paler white colour. Let it consume it. When I paint my colours too fast. Fair enough. Fair enough. And Joshy, 7th of January. That's pretty exciting. Birthday on the 7th of January. There we go. These paintings, this paint flows beautifully. This is a high pigment paint, but with very, very little additives. We call it soft-bodied acrylics. Very fun to work with. It'll be really fun if Jimmy Buffett, on the day of his death, well, on the day of his death, but on the weeks preceding, made like a public statement saying there would be no copyright on Jimmy Buffett's music for the next 7 days, or say 24 hours, as more, as a ode to Jimmy Buffett. And so on every stream, in every YouTube video, in every live performance, 24 hours, you can use the songs. And after that, you gotta take them off or stop using them or whatever. But it would just be quite fun. Because this is the sort of picture I'd like to paint with Jimmy Buffett playing in the background. I want to hear about a cheeseburger in paradise, you know what I'm saying? There we go. Up around the top here. Right at the top. We're going to add a bit more blue into this. A bit more blue, more of a baby blue tone. And let it come the whole way over the top there. There we go. And across. Beautiful. Beautiful. There we go. Lovely. Now we're going to jump down a little bit. Get some more of the stuff down here on this, down the side of his face here. There's a little bit here. Not a whole lot, but just a little bit. Dry for 3 days? Ooh, no, get into it. And Pepe, welcome. You'll be like, where has this guy been? I had the flu. I'm sorry, don't mean to whinge, but man alive, it was something else. And it's good to be back here, guys. It's good to be back. So, we're doing, you might have noticed, there'll be a bit of sitting down. Give that to me, guys. Let me sit down. I know I say sitting down makes you bluff, but sitting down makes your brush strokes lethargic. Yeah, well, I am pretty lethargic right now. I am on Struggle Street, so let me just slowly recover. And hopefully tomorrow, my nose won't hurt, my ears won't be ringing. I'm going to say it again. I lost. But the actual total, I said 6 because I want you guys to believe me, but it was 7.2. I said just under 1 a day. It was just over. Don't know why I lied to you, but hello team member. KDS, welcome. That's a lot of weight. That's over 15 pounds, guys. That's a If you're ever telling someone why Sid wasn't around, that's why Sid wasn't around. He was losing 15 pounds. Battling. Number one battler. But he's back. He's back and feeling good. Well, not just yet. Still sore. Still faint. But good enough to actually stand in front of you guys and not be sniffing the whole time and battling, you know. So, good to be here. No KDS. The worst one. The worst one. So, that's what we were doing. Oh yeah. So I was weighing myself each day, see. And so I knew I was on 89 kilograms, 89.6 kilograms when the flu hit. And today I weighed in. That was 8 days. 89.6. And then I'm currently 82.1 now. How wild is that? Is that the correct? There. And this one, I see this one slopes a lot. There we go. Beautiful. Yeah, you should have seen me before. No, that's all good, guys. We'll get back to healthy eating, and we'll slowly feel nice and healthy. And the problem with losing so much weight that fast is you do feel very, very faint. I just couldn't eat. I was just in such a state. So now this is the bottom of the guitar, the top of the guitar at the bottom of the page, I should say. There we go. I'll do smooth strokes on this one. I don't want a whole lot of texture in this guitar just yet. Just a smooth baby blue to occupy that idea. Do you mediate? Meditate. You know what? I don't, but I should. I am aware that I should be meditating, is my answer to that. I know that's not always so satisfying, but I know that I should be. I see. So that one comes up a little bit higher, but this one has more of a pronounced bump. Just gotta get that flow right. There we go. A bit more of this down the very bottom, all the way to that corner. You don't want a few small brush strokes, but the majority of them, preferably on the first coats, have much more of a larger flow to them, ideally. Hello Victoria, welcome back. Yes, it has been a hot minute, and that's entirely on me. I will not give you my whinging sob story again, but my God, I was sick. Now, grabbing out some of this. There we go. Here we go. Let's shoot this here. And we're going to get a little bit of this. Why am I sitting? Couple of reasons. I'm retaining my energy, and because I'm a little bit sick still, this allows me just to be a wee bit more lethargic and just slowly bring myself back into the painting groove. I'll stand up every here and there, but we won't spend the whole session standing, just because we'll be running the risk of actually wearing me completely out of gas. I'm feeling pretty fragile. It was about 14. So, I don't know how much of it was water weight, but, sink straight into that. But, man alive. No, it wasn't COVID. It was not COVID. Yeah. So Victoria, I was going to the, when I weighed myself on the scales each morning, I was coming in at 89.6. And the day before, I disappeared. And then I weighed myself on the scales this morning, and I am 82.1. So, and that's kgs. So it was a lethal one. That is just something else. Was not COVID. Was not COVID. Yeah, felt like it could have been. In fact, COVID wasn't actually, like, for me, COVID didn't really throw me around all that bad. That one threw me around. Here we go. Yeah, I'm still a little bit worn out, but that's okay. That's why this is the perfect picture to be doing. Jimmy Buffett. The man who, above all else, knew how to chill. So I can't think of a more appropriate person to be doing right now. As in a scarf around his neck, he's wearing a blue Hawaiian-ish shirt, and he's wearing a green, tealy, baby bluish hat, faded, and he's got regular coloured skin. But we don't have to stick to that colour palette. We can just play with it as we start. Joe, long time no see indeed. I'm on the heel. I'm on the heel, that's the best way to put it. But it turns out that those last two streams I had, when I was thinking, alright, I'm feeling a bit sick guys, but I'll be right. That wasn't me on the up. That was me on the way down. I thought I was on the up. I was silly. I was wrong. Anyway, it's giving beach vibes. That's exactly what it wants to give. Beach vibes are what we're after. And now we're going to start encroaching to the face with some of this green. Green's not really a human skin colour too much, but I can see it as an undertone in a lot of this face. So we're not going to be shied away from it. We're going to embrace that, use that. Crazy, the amount I used to listen to Warren Buffett when I was a child. And now he's gone. Makes you wonder. Jimmy Buffett. Yes, sorry, I said Warren Buffett. Jimmy Buffett, indeed. Good guess, actually, Vic. Good guess. There we are. Hello, Martin. How are we doing? There we go. Alright, I'm coming down here low. Season's greetings from New Zealand. We're just leaving winter, and we in New Zealand are heading in to spring. So, that's pretty exciting. Here we are. Capturing some bigger shapes and tones. There we go. Put that in there a little bit. Across these parts. We're going to flex this hat here a little bit. And across this way. Oh, that was a wild and woody stroke, that one. There we go. Here we are. Very smooth. Cheers, guys. Alright. Alrighty tighty. What are we going to do next? Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. let's throw some skin tone in it, some yellows and some oranges. And let's see where that sort of takes it. I'll probably add in a bunch of the darker ones and just replace that brown to make that colour look intentional. And then we'll definitely do some white. That'll clarify the face a whole lot. But we're in no hurry to do clarity like that. I just want to capture all those shapes and moments. So I think next up, yeah, let's get some skin tones. Unless we just completely change the paint on the spot. That's also fun. Right, let's go down here. Here we go. Burnt sienna coming on in here, taking control of the whole thing instead. First thing to do though, since we get into the smaller areas, is to swap down to a smaller brush. Here we are. Hoity toity. Stand back and have a look-see at this. Yeah, see, we're a little bit out of proportion here. We've sort of fallen into the trap of painting what we think we see and not what we actually see. So there'll be a little bit of adjustment to happen here. The cap here is the first that's fallen victim. I've attempted to paint a hat exactly as I think it would be, and it was a beautiful stroke. I really enjoyed doing it. But he doesn't wear ball caps like that. That's not his style. What he wears are those, you know, more Warren Buffett style hats. The brim's less pronounced. It's more kinked in the middle. So we'll have a play with that. Yeah. No, it's a great hat. Don't get me wrong, Victoria. It's a great hat. But it's not Warren Buffett's hat. And we're not here to capture any old random stranger. We're here to capture Warren Buffett. It's anything that I've just concocted in my own head to make versus anything that's we want to do less of that and more of painting what is. It sounds so cheesy too when you say that, because when you say that, it makes it sound, excuse me while I just lift this up a bit, it makes it sound like some whimsical art teacher phrase, which I guess sort of is. Paint what you actually see. So cheesy, yet so valuable and true. There we go. Just going to lift that up a wee bit. And I think I might actually, bear with me here, let's actually bring you guys in. How's that? You part of it now? I think you're part of it. Can you see the whole thing? I think you can see. Make sure it's not being cut off for you. And that's the key. We don't want anything cut off. We want the whole thing to be in the shot. So if anyone's got a phone where the picture's not all in, let me know. I'll do an adjustment. Let's do a bit more of that white. Cool. Good to hear. Alright. Xavier, we'll catch you later. Look after yourself. Here we go. Let's get some lines through here. Down this face here. Here. You get quite liberal with these lines as well. You don't really want to have them all playing by the song sheet of accuracy. It can be a bit more loose, a bit more crazy. Here we go. There we are. Perfect. Around the edges of those glasses. The glasses are quite an important thing. I think the glasses and hat would be icons of a man like Jim Buffett. is that an old man. He is now. Well, he was getting on in years. Huh? Get on with your painting and ignore the people in the comments. I would never. See, part of painting is it's a shared journey. But was there someone saying some wild things? Someone saying some mean things? Everyone thinks what everyone's saying looks so nice. There we go. Is this Jimmy or Warren? I keep saying Warren, but it's Jimmy. You just need to ignore me a bit, Ricky. You need to be like, okay, we're going to listen to what Seb's saying, and then we're going to hear what we know he's trying to say, not what Suri would pick up on. There we go. Yeah, I thought so too, but there we go. So letting these big stroke of paints represent the wrinkles as they sort of cascade over the face. They leave 2 wrinkles behind each brush stroke. And the way they do it is they push hard enough that it'll push paint out to each side of the brush. And as it does that, it leaves behind a wrinkle developing on each side. It's a bit of a bizarre technique. And you have to pick it quite carefully, because otherwise wrinkles will look too thick or not dense enough. You're playing with fire. There we go, that was a good one. That wasn't. The goal here is to start with each little stroke. None of these strokes by themselves represents anything. But all together, we do start to see that picture, that face contorted up here, coming through here. He lost his nose. Well, the nose is actually in the light. Now, the temptation for any artist is to try and see clarity. And you just want to draw the nose and the mouth and the eyes. Just make it happen. Just want to see it straight away. Put it in my picture. At least everyone knows that I'm painting a nice picture and they don't get confused by the weird lines I'm doing. You've got to sit there in that discomfort. You've got to be willing not to finish the picture. Not to paint the nose straight away. Because the colours I'm using, I'll show you that there, they're the wrong colours. They're not the extremes that are hitting the end of this face. Hey Todd. They're not the extremes that are hitting the end of this face. There's a lot of blacks and a lot of whites in there. And maybe some pastels too. We haven't touched those yet. And so the key to making sure that works is waiting till the right colour's on your palette and then doing it. And a bit of that can be quite fun, because it's addressing your insecurity at the same time. You wonder how, but you desperately, especially in this case here, I have to fight the urge to want to show you guys a beautiful picture. Oh, you know, it's the classic thing. I want people to like me. If I want people to like me, I want to produce something pretty for you guys. And so I'm caught with that little bit of insecurity there. And so then you'll put the right colours onto the picture in the wrong places. You'll just get excited and think, oh, let's try and make this picture look beautiful. And then you limit its ability to grow. And so one of the things that I have to do here, and I don't know what you do, but what you have to do in your own situation, is to find a way to sit in that discomfort of an unfinished journey and know that all the pieces aren't there, and that's okay. And you know what? Victoria's right when she says trust the process, but you also have to know that you're going to do a lot of processes. I've done a lot of paintings, and sometimes they don't all work. And so I trust the process, but I also know if I fail, I'm not going to rip myself up. I'm not going to tear myself down. I'm going to appreciate that I enjoyed making it, and then appreciate that I tried. And then I'm going to move on with the next painting. And hopefully after doing that time and time again, I'll grow. And I'll make less mistakes. Or I'll get better, and the court will get harder, and I'll make more. It's hard to know. Not that it matters. I'll get a little bit better. Here we are. A little bit on that cheek there, we'll grab that. A bit more radical out that side. You're real good, Victoria. I think, honestly, I think I said a bit much, Victoria. I think, at the end of the day, I feel like in today's world, if you see something that you like on Instagram or TikTok, like I saw a guy, didn't recognise him, but he was talking about art and philosophy and things, and I clicked on his profile and it took me through his stuff and his link tree, he had all that same stuff, and I was like, this was so easy. So honestly, where I was going with that is that I reckon let's let websites and let's let SEO, Google Ads and all the other suggested videos, they can do advertising. We'll just have fun here. It's such you are right. It is an iconic line, and it's kind of funny. But I like feeling like I like feeling natural, and I feel like when I stop every like 30 seconds to a minute, or not that, like, I know it's like 10 minutes, but when I stop and like say, hey, if you want to follow me on social media, it feels less natural and less organic, and I feel like, and well, the thing I'm worried about most, Vic, is that it would rub off on the art. When I talk about transposing movement and energy onto a canvas, if I follow the same strategies and lines over and over again, do I transpose that onto the canvas? Because hypothetically, if I could do movement and add vitality onto a canvas, I can add repetition and a dull, boring, monotone, repeated line onto the canvas. I do agree though. I'm on board with still saying it. What I'm saying here is though, I'm conscious that actually, I'm worried that I'll end up doing a marketing pitch, and like, I feel like TikTok lives can so quickly become like, hey, like if there was like 100 people all on here, all artists say, well, you know, marketing their art, like, hey, look at my art, blah, blah, blah. I don't think it'll be the same. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like live is candid. I feel like candid is fun. I'm not ripping on the line. I think the line's hilarious. What we're talking about is, I have this line, guys, but you're not here usually, where I'm like, if you want to connect more, you can find all my socials via the link in the bio. And it's true, you can, but I think there's a lot of natural fun to be had. That's why I feel like on lives there's a stimulation, because anything can happen. It's candid, it's wild, it's free, it's crazy, it's I don't know. You watch the mistakes and the triumphs happen live. Like, this colour could make the painting or it could ruin the painting. We don't know yet. I'm kind of excited to find out, but we don't know yet. And we ruin paintings together, which is kind of fun. I think we learn more from the ones we ruin than the ones we save. And you'd be like, oh, it's such a cheesy thing to say, but like, if you roll dice, say, and if you roll dice 6 times and you got 6 sixes in a row, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, and then you're done, you'd be like, oh, I always roll the dice and get a 6. But if you roll the dice and get a 6, 5, 2, 3, 1, 6, whatever, in those orders, you learn more from that. You saw more results. And so I think it's actually fun to fail. But only if you have that mindset. I think age, probably, early 20s, I couldn't have accepted that. If you can accept that in your early 20s or in your teenage years, and you can find it fun to fail, that's the most powerful thing you can learn, because that's where your willpower, your energy, and your mental ability goes, dealing with failure. Because you're going to have it in abundance as you go through life. Abundance. And if you're able to actually get in there and deal with something like failure and enjoy it and let it grow you, you're good to go, baby. You've got power. A little bit funny around this area, but we'll see how it plays out. Thanks, Pepe. Appreciate you. Get a little bit more, probably. I think we can go up a little bit higher too. The height is good, team. The height is good. It's actually good for my neck at the moment as well. Let's check that up to there. And plus, the top is very simple. Very simple at the very top. But whereas the middle has this huge amount of detail in it. Here we go. This is fun. Let's just keep seeing how high we can go. We're going to start painting on the ceiling. It's going to be like the Sistine Chapel, but instead it's like a picture of Warren Buffett, and it's like 200th the size. Here we go. Did I send it out of the frame, or are we still in the frame? Hopefully we're still in the frame. Beautiful. This is where I like it. That's a great place to have it. Now I can spar with it. Okay, let me have a little look-see here. Cheeseburgers in paradise. That's a song he sings. Now we're going to get a little bit more wild with it. We've had our fun. Added a bit of things around here and there. Now we're going to splash around with some paint. Ooh, wrong one. Wrong one and right one. What's this one? Cool. 2 more colours. Ha! G'day, Taylor. You snuck in here quietly. Good to have you in here. But it's true though, Taylor. That's not a word of a lie. That's yeah, it's good. It's good chat, but it's also true that if you don't learn to deal with failure, you better still learn to enjoy it. Creative process is just the worst. I mean, heck, go a step further. Life gets so much worse, so much tougher. If you can't find ways to find joy or lessons or to be able to bounce back from loss or failure. JB, welcome back. Sorry for disappearing for so long, JB. I have been very sick. There's a bit of a reflection of his glasses there. Capture that. And down that side. Into the whites. I'm going to stand right back to spar with it. Here we are. And let's have a look see through here. There we go. Paint's getting real thick now, but that's okay. We're not too worried about that. We'll add it on thick. Because we can always flatten it off, go back to a baseline, restart. We can't add that expression in. You've heard me say that before. You need to get the expression in to start with. And the more wild the picture looks, we've been quite tame with these brush strokes, but the more wild we make it look, the better the end result will be. It's like the more ugly the caterpillar is, the more beautiful the butterfly can be. I know it's not one for one like that, but sometimes it feels like it is. Lift that lens up there a little bit, I think. Here we are. There's a nostril there, a little bit around here. See how we're getting quite silly. That's the best way to put it. Quite silly with how we're applying this paint. And just allowing the whole face to just build in the form it wants to be in. And this hat here, that's way too high. That goes to there on a good day. There, it scoops to there. So we'll lose all of that. That's gone. Good night. was saying what? Oh, that one. Yes, indeed. There was. Well, that was a guy laughing, actually, wasn't it? Oh no, that was the statue. No, it's all coming back to me. It's all coming back to me now. When you touch me like this, and you whisper like that. I'll leave that there, but I might turn on this. It's so hard to resist, but it's all coming back to me. There is, though, a update that my mic has finally been fixed. So finally, I can get that good sound, get outside and have some fun. Yeah, Celine Dion. Celine Dion. We might even tackle now a little bit of red. Red. There we go. Just a little bit. What happened to the mic? That's a great question, Victoria. It just stopped working. So I sent it away. Thinking of dad bods coming on, you'll wear it well. Me. Funny. The mic just stopped working, so I took it in for a warranty, and they have confirmed it now, so I'll get it back early next week. So another 3 days, 5 days, we'll see. We will see. I'm good, thank you. Alright. Let's get a bit more spontaneous with the colours here. We've stayed very much on the colour palette with a more muted range. I'm going to grab those primaries now, and we're going to really thrash this painting into a bit of a fun state. Because there's a lot of things that you miss, and it's like, it doesn't need to be that way. You can get a bit more crazy with it. Besides, this isn't supposed to be a masterpiece. This is supposed to be, hey, Seb's back, it's not dead. He thought he might have been, disappeared for that long, but I'm back. And so the idea is to actually get in here, have some fun with paint, and see if we can't produce layer one. Old Jimmy Buffett. Red, interesting. Yeah. And we're going to exacerbate the amount of red. So why are we doing that? Because it's fun. It's going to really make the whole picture pop. He's going to get the sunburn look, but it's going to tone back the moment we throw some more shades at it. I'm not sure whether we'll go for blue and yellow actually, or whether we'll actually thrash up a piratey thing. I don't know. But I do know that we've got about 30 seconds to 5 minutes to make that decision. So I'm not really tied up in a crazy, beating myself up about it. I'm ready to throw down. There we go. That was a couple of goodies up there in the brow. That was an ignored area until we did that. That was fantastic. This area here, this chin. Yeah, let's go to there. Who's down there? You see how these strokes don't really care about what we've done so far? They're just trying to represent themselves. But in that, they pull the whole face into proportion rather than getting hung up with what's already there. Because what we put down at the start wasn't perfect. If anything, it was the most inaccurate strokes we could possibly do. So now we've got the ability to come in here, alter, change, play, But don't let whatever stroke you're putting on the canvas be controlled by the ones you've already put on the canvas. Otherwise, you're sort of tied to your old mistakes. That's like every time you try and become a new person or try and grow as a person. Imagine if someone just reminded you of all the mistakes you've ever made and why you're not allowed to grow or change as a person. It would be debilitating. You'd get nowhere. And so the painting's pretty similar. If you hold a painting to the lines you put down at the start, you'll never give that painting the chance to actually blow up into something new and special. Hello, LJ. Welcome. And I don't know. Brand new tattoo. Oh, yes. Yes, now I'm following. That's Margaritaville. So a brand new tattoo. And Kelly, you're an absolute legend. I appreciate you. I'm going to talk a little bit more softly though, if you don't mind, guys. And the reason I'll talk a little bit more softly, I'll just turn down the power of this fan a little bit. I'm going to talk a little bit more softly because I'm recovering from the worst flu I've ever had. Let me just do a little adjustment here though. I feel like you're missing out on some canvas. Oh, it's doing a little spin. We'll sort that out. There we go. Is it going to fix it? Yeah, now we're talking. Hello. Oh, no. Do as I tell you. There we go. Beautiful. I feel like every time I take my hand off it moves back, but we're here now. Alright. Jeepers. A lot of time, LJ. About 7 days, I think. In those 7 days, I've lost a lot of weight. I got a terrible flu, beaten up good and proper, and now I'm back on my feet. And it's good to be back on my feet. There we go. Let's get up here and actually control a little bit of this right up at the top. There we are. Hello. What city am I in? I am in Auckland City. Auckland City, here in New Zealand, which is pretty exciting. There we go. Oh, that's in the wrong place. There we go. It's alright if it's in the wrong place. I'm not going to beat it up. Those lines that, I mean, old Ross would say they're happy little mistakes. They are mistakes, but they add character to the overall picture. I think that's a cool thing. I don't feel like we were all told how much our mistakes or our imperfections were going to become part of the beauty of our character as we got older. You're a teenager and everything wrong with you try and hide. Then in your late 20s and 30s, you start to realise that actually all those things that you hid for so long, got insecure about, that's some of the best things about you. You should just be you. Red Braun to life? Yeah, but he looks pretty sunburned. So next colour off the ranks. Next colour off the ranks is going to be our royal purple. And actually, I'm kicking myself a little bit. So I wish I'd started in royal purple. No, it needed to be blue, but royal purple could have been nice. Could have been nice. JB, you're an absolute legend. I appreciate you to no end. No, it's not Joe Biden. You're looking at an old man, but you're looking at Jimmy. Jimmy Buffett. Not everything in this world is political. And certainly not down here in New Zealand. I grew up with the amazing music of old Jimmy. Hearing about cheeseburgers in paradise, Margaritaville, his brand new tattoo, the pirate who looks 40. I think he sings Brown Eyed Girl, a cover of it as well. It's fantastic. Has to go back to work, Kelly. Oh, well, thanks for popping in, Kelly. Appreciate you, and we'll see you next time. You legend. Bye-bye. That's right, royal purple. Here I am just flicking this brush around, not even thinking. That's brilliant violet, that's not what we're after. That's blue. That's red. Teal. Red violet, this will do the trick. It's not quite royal purple, but it's actually arguably better. We'll make it work. That's what I reckon, Serena. That's what I reckon. So run some long strokes through here. Represent some of those cuts. Not cuts on him. Cuts in the detail of his character. Lines that make his face is a good one right here. Look down through here. He's just a happy guy. I think Jimmy Buffett would be the OG golden retriever. Talk about these golden retriever boyfriends and these golden retriever personalities. I think that's is that Jimmy, or have I misunderstood the definition of these things? Who is this? Jimmy Buffett. Jimmy Buffett. Got that whole one there. There we go. That's good. We've actually captured that little, because his glasses are a little bit lopsided, so that's perfect. G'day, Steve. Good to have you in here. We're not here for too long, remember, Steve, because I am still a little bit cooked. But we're doing a nice quiet session, and Steve, you'll know this man. This is Jimmy Buffett, so it's my last, well, not my last chance, but I feel like with Jimmy Buffett gone now, it's the appropriate time to take some time and make Jimmy Buffett. So that's what we're here doing. And I look forward to seeing the pictures, Steve. That sounds fantastic. Sounds fantastic. I hope you're doing all right for yourself over there. That's his song. That's the one I always used to listen to. Cooked. If you say cooked, it means you break it, ruin it. If you say you cooked it here in New Zealand, that means you failed. You don't want to cook something. Nothing to do with the Cook Islands. Less than 0% to do with the Cook Islands. I can't speak that language. Can someone translate the JS's words? She seems nice. Here we go. Or JS, just know that you're more than welcome here. I just can't read what you say. There we go. Thai? I think it's Thai. It'll be Thai or Laos, right? I think we can agree on that. There we go. Spike a few teeth in there. Then just... I don't see the picture. You don't. It's alright. That's alright. You don't need to. Just enjoy paint going onto it. Maybe the picture will come out slowly. And like I say, a million times, guys, maybe it won't. Like, you have to accept that. And part of me saying that isn't just for you guys. It's to remind myself as well to mentally prepare for the possibility, the very real possibility, that I can't make the picture happen, but it won't come together. And by me saying, hey, we might fail, it's not me being negative as much as it's stopping me from getting so boldly consumed with ego that we're definitely going to succeed. Because there's nothing more harrowing when you definitely think that success is around the corner and it just doesn't come, and the picture slowly falls apart, or the plans you made slowly fall apart when you felt like when you started there was nothing that could make you fail, and then all of a sudden you're falling. You're slowly slipping. And it's okay. Like we talked about, it's okay to fail. But be mentally prepared, just in case you do start slipping. Because if you aren't mentally prepared for it, a slip can quickly turn into a slide. You're more than welcome, Steve. That was actually a phenomenal picture to work on. You know that, you were here for that. And I hope you like the framing, because you can tell we've gone for something a little bit different. All your works are slightly unique. But that one there, I went for a slightly deeper frame. I think it worked really, really well for that piece. I was very excited about that one. Paint Keisha. I mean, we could. I feel like I need to write Jimmy Buffett right here. Maybe I will. It's the background. You reckon we can get away with that? I reckon we can. Here we go. Let's go like this. We can always go over this, no trouble, guys. So don't get too hung up if you don't like typography. This doesn't ruin it. This just add a B here. We've got one layer in the background. We really don't need to worry. Throw an E down in there. Is it Buffett with 2 T's? 1 T should be enough. Jimmy Buffett. There we go. Fantastic. I'm glad. Right. What was I? Give me a bit of a. I should say, give me a wee bit of a break today too, guys, because if I get a bit of brain fog, or if I make a few mistakes, this is why we aren't touching our current projects, because if I make a few mistakes, we don't do that. We experiment first. Make sure your head's in the right space, experiment on some new canvases, get your head straight, and then smash the real jobs. So, still just on a little bit of recovery here. Little bit of recovery. That's understandable. Yeah, you're all good, Steve. That's because I reckon you'll be partial to a few. I reckon you're like 5 o'clock somewhere. I have a soft spot for that song. I've always had a soft spot for that song. I had the original version of that on my device to play music, and it used to go. Who was it? It was one country artist, and then Jimmy Buffett would come in and join him for the second verse. Good night, everyone. We'll see you later, Taylor. Yeah. Catch you later, JV. I appreciate that. For those who don't know, I went from 89.6 kgs, I'm now 82.1 kgs. So, the bout of flu that I've had over the last 8 to 9 days has ripped me to pieces. So I'm excited to get back into my usual routine, start waking up early, start painting, start eating healthy, and getting myself right again. But my Lord above, we had a bit of a tough week there, health-wise. Thanks, Jordan Peter. There we go. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to be shaken by it so violently. That was it was fresh. There we go. Hey, I don't think anyone does. I think you don't get the flu for just long enough to forget how violent it can be. Then you get it again, then you realise, oh, that's right. That's something that I should not be quarrelling with. And then, enough time to not get the flu again. Cheeky thing like that. There we go. Now we probably need to grab a bunch of white. So you can see it's starting to actually fall back into the darker colours as they sort of take dominance over the rest of the colour palette. But we'll wrestle it back off them with a thick-bodied white, and that'll come through this hat here. It'll come out the sides here, come down the face here, down the shirt, across the guitar. Yeah. That's interesting you say that, because that would make a lot of sense, because that was not, I'll tell you what, Steve, that was not a regular fluke. That was a real teeth kicker. That was raw. It was something else. Just gonna look here. I bought some thick-bodied white. We can always come up with another plan, but there it is. There it is. We have this little tool here, which I'm pretty excited about. Thanks, JB. Appreciate you. And Santiago, it has been a while. Let me just do some interesting scraping. Here we are. We haven't done this very often, but this is quite fun. What this does is it creates detail. Paints you've already chosen. Here we go. Finish your painting? Yeah. Go for gold candy beans. You have not, Steve. So, because we're using a lot more thicker paints, and I don't want to do too many works today, just while I'm still getting myself back into the flow of things, what this does is it pulls off little bits of paint. So I'm not actually acknowledging movements and assets around the painting itself. I'm waiting for a blade. What I'm actually noticing is where the colour is that I believe it's incorrect. Now the reason why I'm scraping it off in those places is I'm looking somewhere and thinking that's supposed to be white. I look there, and if it's not white, I scrape. And that takes away the thickness of colour that I've already added in just thin little lines. So when the white goes on, it won't be overpowered in those areas. And that's handy. You don't want to overdo this, and you don't want to make these lines ugly either. This is your opportunity to do nice, tidy lines. There's a lot of fun lines in here. There we are. And obviously it's fun because it adds that extra idea to the painting. Another dimension, another thing. There we go. Never mind, he gets it. Old Anakin Skywalker it is. That was the paint, I swear. There we go. Now, we've got a lot of whites here. A lot of whites. And we've just opened up a lot of areas where we can now add them in. But we're not limited to that. We're not going to go around like paint by numbers style and add white to all those areas we scraped. We're going to add whites completely belligerent to what we just did. If they land in the same areas, cool. If they don't, cool. Those scrape marks will look like deep cuts in the picture and add something quite fun and tactile up close. It has no need to be covered up completely. If those cuts show up at the end, fantastic. They can be there. And if they don't, fantastic. They don't have to be there. We need a Nicki Minaj one. That could be funny. That could be funny. Here we go. Get that there. Around there. Jimmy Buffett. It's going to come through here. There we go. Look at that intensity of white. No muck around whites coming in now. And let them really blossom through here. Now we're talking to it. And see how this is really coming in here and adding that contrast factor? We had lost that a little bit, just a little bit, in amongst the intensity of those pinks and purples and what wasn't purple, it was red violet. But, lost an element all the same. So in the process of bringing that back. We're not going to force a smile onto his face. We're just going to hope as we keep adding paint. That'll start to show. There we go. This is board, so we couldn't scrape canvas that belligerently. Canvas wouldn't tolerate being scraped like that. It would break. It would do all sorts of things. Here we go. You'd rip a canvas probably. So that's not the way you want to rock and roll. Here we go. There we are. Oh, Serena, that's fantastic. I'm glad. Get into it. And painting your dog. That sounds exciting. We've got a couple of paintings of dogs that we've done. Maybe there's the opportunity to do a few more. Maybe. There we go. A little bit through here. Oh, that's a good spot. This is his white hair coming down here. Nice. We're almost on the cusp of this one too. When I say on the cusp, I mean we can't keep adding to these indefinitely. I've pushed this one out further just because I was having fun. But it is, like all paintings, going to reach the point in which you just made it too wet and you can't go on. You need a pause, give it a chance to dry. There we go, a little more through here. Lovely. Around here, nice. Nice, nice, nice. A little more through here. Beautiful, all right. Pausing on our big man, Jimmy Buffett. So, at this stage, real mess, but that's what the first layer wants to be. It wants to be a bit crazy, a bit messy, a bit all over the show. And then as we go on, and as we apply more colours, the base colour is going to be that green, going to be that red. The white's just there for fun. There we go. Let's pull this fella down. Down you come, Jimmy. There we go. Right. There we go. So you can rest down there for now, and let's bring up. This is a fresh canvas. Fresh canvas, fresh idea. What are we going to add? That's the question. Completely black. And like I say, these works might go far, but for the most part, they don't exist to go the distance. They exist to bring us back after our sabbatical, our exhausting, energy draining flu. And so if we can bounce back and get our eye back in, our hand back in, start painting like a fire, it'll be away. There we go. Beautiful. Alright. Do some little adjustments here. There we go. And just bring this iPad around here. Perfect. Perfect. Unless we want to decrease this boom a little bit. I think we do. There we go. Lovely. Alright. Alright. And move it in there a little bit. What? Watch out for that. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now, I've got a few ideas. I haven't locked one in just yet. You are really going to surprise me with this painting as I see it. Maybe it can just be maybe this is one that I don't announce. I just start on. And we just see where it takes us. Could be quite entertaining. Let's see. Down with that. Grab this. Righty tighty. Mr. Mighty. All the wonderful options we've got. What are we going to do? Imagine all the people living for today. Here we are. Perfect. Perfect. Alright, I've got a picture. That's going to work. Just as you want it to. Get that to go like that. That to go like that. Keep the zoom right. Screenshot taken. Let's read this down there a little bit. There we go. Perfect. And we are good to go. On our next little experimental piece. Well, that's part of the fun. With this one, I'm just going to paint it with you guys. And we're just going to watch it come together. Watch it come together. That's the correct pronunciation. Watch it come together. Alright. This is going to be fun. Right. Righty tighty. Can I paint a half dome from winter and hello from Texas? Ooh, that's pretty exciting actually. The Yosemite half dome. That's a pretty crazy idea actually. There we go. That full canvas of the shot. Ooh. Okay. There's so much darkness in this picture. It's wild. So are we going to spot more darkness to start with? We're going to first off come there and acknowledge the big substance. I think we need to acknowledge big substance. Here we go. Is this paint ready to go? It is. First colour off the ranks. Just through here. Down through here. There we go. Look at that. Lovely. You know what? We're not even going to stop at the green parts. Let's actually use this poppy colour and just put it everywhere where it needs to be. This is all actually, this isn't this colour. We're just adding the right hue on. This is fun. This is fun. I can go through there. Through there. Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. And up the top here. What's going to happen up here? Down through here. Like I was saying, guys, we're not trying to create masterpieces here. We're on a journey to pleasure. If that results in the correct journey to somewhere special, that's fantastic. But it doesn't need to. It does not need to. I should swap this brush over, actually. Is there a brush here that I can ruin? Yes, there is. Fantastic. Here we go. All up through here. That's what I'm talking about. Lovely. And then up here. Interesting layout occurring here, actually. There's all these parts intertwined. Bob Ross here. Well, Bob Ross typically does landscapes. And the other thing about Bob Ross is there's paint by number aspects to it. So there's a lot of planning that goes into it. You go back layer, middle layer, each layer. But here's no plan. We're risking it. Sometimes we walk away from a canvas being like, well, that was not so good. And sometimes we walk away going, that worked out fantastically. But that's the risk we're running. And it's okay to run that risk. I think a lot of the time with art, we've now learned to be too safe, too precious with the whole process. And you have to be ready. Ready for the constant impending doom of failure. But in a positive way. I'm not saying that to scare you away from art. I'm not saying that to be negative in any way. I'm saying that because there's this chaos inherently in the process. And without the chaos, we're not talking art. We're talking craft. And I don't like predictable art. I don't like predictable creativity. And there is such a thing. You're like, predictable creativity, isn't it against the very definition of it? Yeah, it is. And yet today, I think we're all trying to develop our art styles in a way that we want to make ourselves predictably creative. You're like, no, I'm not. Well, how many people are out there looking at other artists' styles and being like, ooh, how can I do it like you? Not use you to develop my own personal style, but just do it exactly like you. How do I be creative like you? Denying yourself the ability to have your own beautiful voice to produce art with. Not vocally, of course you could if you wanted to, but produce art with a voice that was actually more like your own. How do you want to say? What do you want to say? What's important to you? What's actually meaningful? What's a comment that you want to make through your art? And you're like, well, what sort of comment am I making right now, splashing around paint? Typically, I like the energy that the creation's made with. I like actually producing it in a way that the creation itself has its own little bit of life, because you transpose vitality onto it. That's what I like. All right. Yes, indeed. Indeed, Leo. All right, now, let's have a little look at that. I'm just going to keep hammering this, I think. Next colour off the racks, blues. There we are. Oh no. We deviate. Well, good time, good time. Here we go. And also, in terms of something I really like, possibly my favourite thing right now, but bear in mind that this is always changing. We don't have to stay in one zone, one set of feelings. But I've been really enjoying the pleasure of painting wrinkles. It's just something so beautiful, capturing the weather of age. The way it cascades over someone's face. Especially wrinkles like the ones that get created from too much smiling. What an absolute trophy to wear on your face. A wrinkle you've gained from smiling too much. How could you get something better? Thanks, Amy, I appreciate that. Cheers, Jerry. But at the same time, we can lose this image. It's not trying to go from not existing to existing. This image could lapse, disappear, reappear. We're negotiating with chaos right now. Maybe it comes out. Maybe it disappears. And maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe all that matters is that actually we dance. Not trying to reach a particular part of the floor. Not trying to reach the particular end of a certain song. But just dance. Figuratively here with this painting too, when I say dance. Though we could literally dance with it, of course, but in a figurative sense, dancing with a painting. There we go. Big, confident strokes, guys. If you tell the painting that you're confident, you'll feel it too. Too often do we sit there and just sort of chicken scratch in the corner and wonder why the overall painting doesn't want to come together for us. When actually all we need to do is believe in ourselves a little bit, throw around paint, following that belief. There we go. Beautiful. You paint only with achromatic colours. Oh yeah, I suppose. I use the colours I have at hand. I see what I think I want, I add what I think I want, and I try not to, after you understand colour theory, if you've heard this yarn before, I'm so sorry, after you understand what looks good with what, why it looks good with that, where colours come from and what they mean, then let instinct take over. Let yourself just charge at it. Now that you know the rules, go out there and start breaking them. Paintings don't need to be too structured. If we wanted structure, perfect structure, we'd ask an AI for a picture of a painting. And it would produce us a perfect structured Van Gogh. But you know why it's not a Van Gogh? Because even as an AI makes the perfect Van Gogh, you can't see the pain, see the strokes, and see the life of the man. And you can in a Van Gogh. I really hope in a small way that when someone looks at one of my works, as an artist, what do I want? If I'm so selfish, what would I want someone to feel, see when they see my work? I want them to see vitality. I want them to believe that actually there's no way that the person who made that didn't have fun, that actually there is some joy inside this painting, and that they might believe that by putting it on their wall a little bit every day, it might just provide them a bit of joy. A bit of what a coffee provides. I always use that example. The idea that actually a painting could give you that same kick that a coffee gives you each morning. maybe not the same amount, but imagine if it gave you the 1/8 of a coffee every day, day in, day out. How special would that be? Here we go. I reckon that'd be pretty special, personally. Here we go. Right at the top there, and we've been live for ting, 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 ting. 90 minutes. It's pretty exciting. Just hanging out here together as a team. Here we go. Well, that's the idea, Amy. That's the goal. And they don't want to have life in the form of realism. I don't want you to feel life like a photo as such. That's why I tend to avoid the word life and strive towards the word vitality. Because I feel like a pretty image, anything can get that. Nowadays, anyway. Pretty images are easy. If you want to paint pretty images, easy to do. So many tutorials out there now, you can figure it out like that. But no one's telling you how to actually get vitality, get energy, get meaning into a painting. You have to figure that out. Okay. There we go. Alright. Where are we going to go next? Let's jump on. Get the paint off this brush, just like that. And we move across to our light violet. Light violet. There we go. And we're just dabbing this around. Where else are we going to go? It's down here. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Amy. I appreciate that. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that all art has to be about that. Art's sort of like people. In the way that we sort of joke about the education system, for example, that puts every single person on the same playing field and demands that they be the same. And we get perplexed at the very concept of thinking that you could put everyone on the same scale and judge them universally by the same standards. When everyone has different talents. Sporting, literature. I say literature, actually. What I mean is everyone has different talents. If you were fantastic with cars, you understood the engine intimately and deeply. The sounds it would make and the way they would correlate with the success or failure of the engine. You just understood it, like your own heartbeat. You might not do well in school, but I wouldn't care about that. Likewise, painting's not going to help you through English. But I feel that every single person, their own individual personality, has value. Unique value, different value, but their own value. And because of that, painting's similar. Capture all sorts of different things. Cheers, friend. Okay, next colour off the ranks. We're just going to keep rolling through the colour palette here, team. One colour after the next. We'll stop only once we feel. Let's get this out. There we go. Hasn't had its lid on, so it's hard at the top. So we're just scraping that out. We're almost through it. And we're through it. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. Well, Amy, you're the sort of person who's been around kids a lot. So that's a really cool thing to hear you endorsing that. There we go. It's now on the charge. Perfect. Next colour up, Chinese blue. And I think I've got excited here because I want a brush that's a bit too large. Trading down. Here we go. Back on the teal, smaller brush. Our only job here is to see moments, see shapes, and capture them. Here we go. Good night. We'll catch you later, Glenn. Thanks for joining in, mate. I appreciate you being here. You won't miss out on much. We're just going to keep working on this one. There we go. There's a little bit that comes through there, and a little bit down there. How are we looking? We will actually attack this with a bit of black before I'm done. You're thinking, black? You started in black. Spent the whole session we've had leaving black. What are you talking about? And you're not wrong. But black's needed. Lots of black is needed here. We're not afraid of black in this picture. Like I say, we started in it. Black's going to be what saves this picture, or simultaneously, what tries to destroy it. See, black's really, really strong. I've said it before, guys. It's a definer. If you're not careful with it, you'll sacrifice your whole painting in favour of defining it. It's not a bad thing, but you have to understand that you'll be doing it. Unless you're able to keep the leash on it. But it's so dangerous. It's sort of like saying the One Ring from Lord of the Rings. But if you can keep a leash on it, it's all good. Same thing with black. You just get so tempted, so carried away, so wild with it as you add it. Hey Katie, how you doing? Okay, let's get this through here. Down through here. Now we're talking to it. Hello Ren, how we doing? Here we go. G'day Tally, how we doing? So you can see already the face has the sort of, we can sort of feel some form or some expression coming out of it, but there's no continuity to it, as if some colours start and die out and some form starts then dies out with a lack of completion. And as we add more colours and build up the repertoire in the kaleidoscope, it'll start to come together. But we can't ever force it. We can't say, right, yellow's until the end now. I'm doing good, Telly. We just need to let the painting slowly find its own feet. Sometimes it can break you, waiting for that to happen. You've got to be comfortable in that discomfort. That's what I say. Comfortable in the discomfort of not letting the painting find its feet straight away. Olive green. It's a musty colour. Combined into some normal green. turning just a wee bit lime. There we go. Key here is actually let the paint go on really thick. Really thick. Exaggerate itself. See how that, just one little line there suddenly insinuates that hoodie? Another layer of clothing there. And probably if I do a little loop here, and then do a dangly bit shimmer. So you know it's not a line of quills of fabric, but actually that's a string of the hoodie. A little bit there, a little bit there, and we've captured that. But to make sure we don't just think that the hoodie itself is the only part that's got that luscious green colour in it, keep adding around his face. Since it's a slightly off green, use it in this beard. Not too much or it'll look like he's been sick. But enough. So you know that just because it's a colour, it doesn't get just restrained to one spot on the canvas. There we go. Over here in the face itself, let's play around. Why not? There we go. Everywhere we see that sort of off grey colour in the face, we'll just expand this green through there. There we go. A little bit under this eye here. Beautiful. Around here, go on. Coming off the edge of the face, you betcha. There we go. Beautiful. And then there's a little bit coming up through there. And I'd be foolish if I thought this hat here that he's wearing doesn't have any in it. It does. Couple of lines coming through. Wild first coats team. Unrestrained craziness. There we are. A little bit more through here. Yeah, go on. What are we going to do with it? Over this brow. I've ignored that up till now. Why did I do that? Who knows? Alright, there we go. Now I'm going to be such a daredevil and slash into it with some black. That'll be naughty. Here we go. Bunch of black. On our white tray too. There we go. And we're going to swap to a interesting brush. This is a fan brush. See that? Let's put down a big hit of paint or a really thin hit of paint. I get both, which is kind of fun. I like that. Let's get that going on. Through. Yeah, now we're just going to start capturing a few little elements in here. There we go. Perfect. See how I feel these details just immediately get accentuated? Things we'd previously ignored a fair bit. All of a sudden, pow. There they are. Facial features popping off the canvas. There we go. Spreading out into that dark abyss there. That's okay. This eyeball here, this is black. Well, not an eyeball. There we go. A little bit through here. Nice. We'll cut in again on that, obviously. But for the meantime, that'll do. Just intensifying that background too there, guys. Alright. Is that Hemingway? No, this is no one important. The face has no name. It's just a face. Alright team, that is me done. My wild little session. I can feel my sinuses filling up with bits and pieces. And it's time I lay down. But yeah, so we've got a man here. As we add more detail, we'll start to see a bit more of a smile occurring. He's got his eyes wrinkling, and they'll go down slightly to each side in a nice, friendly fashion. He's wearing a beanie, and he's wearing a hoodie. But we don't care about that. We're just after the shapes, the moments, making it all happen. Probably this time round, we were too focused on the eyes, too caught up in what we think he should look like. And as we go on, we need to get more focused on the shape of his skull, the face of him, his cheeks. See these cheeks? They're the most important part, but actually we probably didn't use enough of the colours to accentuate them. Bring those cheeks out, make them pop, make these wrinkles pop. That forehead, bring that out. Creases in there show part of his expression. A slight bemused frown happening amongst his smile. We'll keep filling it out. Anyway guys, thank you so much for joining. You're all a pack of legends, and thank you so much for tolerating me in my little bit of a beaten up state. So I'm going to let sit down for a little bit, and as we go on, these lives will just get longer and longer as I go on that road to recovery. Cheers guys, I appreciate that. Look after yourselves, all the best. Bye for now. See you guys. Oh, and thank you so much, Vic, Jay Smith. Thank you both, you guys. Ryan, you champion, Pepe, and Steve. Cheers, guys. Bye for now.